My room is in a state, and that's really stressing me out because there's mess everywhere and I'm leaving tomorrow. So all of this has to be packed. What I did yesterday, I filled this box. I filled this box with room decoration, which was basically all the pictures that I had on that wall, the stuff I had on my wardrobe, all the posters I had on that wall. They're now gone, and I put them in this box because I want to have them for later. And that's all I did. And I'm leaving tomorrow. So now I'm gonna start with my school papers. I'm gonna sort those out.
Most of the academic work that I've done on paper these past 2 years, I ended up putting in one of these 3 folders. Something not annoying. However, I never really took the time to organize it, so what would happen is I'd just randomly place these papers in one of the folders with no real organization system to it, or in that pile over there. So I really had to go and sort through all of these. It was a very tedious and time-consuming task, which at first seemed insurmountable, but I focused on taking it folder by folder. In between sorting through the papers in my files, I also took down the postcards that my family and my godfather sent to me. Even amongst the clutter on my desk, I made sure to have a designated pile for things that I wanted to take home with me, and I made sure that the postcards would end up on there as they mean so much to me.
So my house mother just brought me this package. I was not expecting anything. Oh my god. If you don't know, I journal. I have been journaling for a long time, and I have this much left of my 8th journal, so this is perfect. Crazy.
This was genuinely such a surprise to me, and I am so grateful for the incredible friends that I've made along the way. After the lovely interlude, I went back to going through my papers, but one thing that I learned from that is I got a visual representation of my academic career. I got to see my very old essays, and reading them allowed me to see how much I've progressed, because when you take it day by day and you're with yourself all the time, it's hard to realize the progress you've made, so it's very helpful to look back once in a while and see how far you've come.
I've done 2 of my folders, and I still have the big stack of papers to do. I'm gonna go and put those papers in the recycling bin first. Anyway.
Since almost everyone is left already, I had lunch alone, which is always such a humbling experience, just eating by yourself in a crowded cafeteria. But anyway, I did a load of laundry afterwards, and decluttering made me so exhausted that I just laid in bed and watched my show for a bit.
So, I went to bed at 2, and I set an alarm at 4. It's 7 now. I missed dinner, so I think I'm gonna order some pizza. I'm very hungry, but I'm also so exhausted. I'm not even like half done. And I'm leaving tomorrow. I'm gonna eat first. Then I'm gonna see what I'm doing with my life.
I ordered Domino's because it would arrive quicker, and honestly it was very good, but it was very filling, so I couldn't eat more than like half of the pizza, even though I was starving. Remember how I said I was exhausted? Well, regardless of how tired I am, there's always energy for the gym. And it was my last workout ever at this gym, and it holds such a special place in my heart.
I just came back. It's like I have no idea what I'm doing. There's no plan. I think I'm gonna do nightstand, under the sink, and my desk drawers. And I'm leaving tomorrow. It's not looking too bad. I mean, it's a lot of clutter, but it makes sense in my brain. I know that pile, what I'm gonna do with it, that pile, what I'm gonna do with it, you know? So it's making sense more than it did like 5 minutes ago, which is great. I'm gonna wake up very early. I'm gonna try and finish this book. Very ambitious, I know. It's not my book and I don't feel like carrying it home with me. We'll see.
I read for about an hour before going to bed, and it was really the chance for me to unwind after such a long day of decluttering.
It's my last time ever sleeping in this room. This is crazy. 2 years gone just like that. It hasn't fully kicked in yet. Yeah. Anyway, see you in the morning.
I slept a collective total of an hour during that night, and I have no idea why, because I did everything you're supposed to do. But anyway, this is my last ever breakfast at school. It was very underwhelming. But then I went into town for a little walk and to get some stuff I needed. When I came back to school, I decided to drop some things off, so I took these magazines back to the library, and then the main thing that I had to do was take my paintings back to the art studio because there wasn't really a way for me to take them home with me this time, so I'm just gonna leave them there for the summer. I dropped these off in a nice spot, and then I made my way back across campus towards the boarding house where I had so much left to do.
Now the goal is to get rid of that so that I can take my suitcase out and pack that. 2 boxes are packed. I'm gonna go put these in the attic.
It felt that with each of these boxes that I was putting in the attic, or every single thing that I was taking out of my room was just shedding its personality. Because living away from home, I set my intention on making my room feel as close to home as it could. Now, that door really isn't good for its purpose. No shade, but I have never not struggled carrying anything through that door. But after I was done putting those boxes in the attic, I took the elevator back down. It's crazy that we have an elevator, but like you're not allowed to use it or encouraged to do so at least, but I still had to take it down because why wouldn't I? Here I was making mental notes of what I still had to do, but overwhelmed by the process, I just ended up reading a bit in my room.
And I'm leaving tomorrow.
I then finally got to packing my suitcase. To make time go faster, I always either listen to music or a podcast, but recently I've been really loving video essays because they give you something to watch as well. With the flag down symbolizing my departure, I went to lunch. And honestly, the last school lunch wasn't horrible, which I'm grateful for. And then it was raining outside, and me and Paulina decided to go on a walk because it was finally cool out and it wasn't super hot. So we just walked until both of us were soaked.
I have 3 hours left and I have to finish packing my big suitcase, pack my tiny suitcase, clear out the cabinets under my sink and the set of drawers. So stressed out because I was like, I have plenty of time. Okay, time to get to work.
This is a reassuring before and after of the shelves above my desk and the state of my room.
Quick update, big suitcase is done. I only have little suitcase. That's cleared out. That's cleared out. That's almost cleared out. And the main issue is that. And the bed that I'm sitting on. But I don't want to think about that, so... Update, I finished packing my second suitcase as well. Now I just have some bits and bobs that I'm gonna put in my backpack. And I'm done with like 2 hours to spare. So I just finished the book that I was reading last night, which is great because I'm in a reading mood. So I think I'm gonna take one of the books that I packed and start reading it now.
I didn't read for long because it was time to give my orchid over to my house mom, and honestly this made me more emotional than finishing high school. Before I knew it, my room was all packed and it was time to leave.
This is so crazy. But I'm leaving and my taxi's here, so I kind of have to run. But when did this happen?
one last clip of my empty room for memory's sake. And then I waved goodbye to the 2 people that were still in the house. And I was in the car heading to the airport. And because the past weeks even, have been so intense, punctuated by the past 2 days, it didn't even register to me that I was leaving boarding school forever. And then it hit. I uncontrollably cried the entire taxi ride to the airport. But luckily for me, I have strict parents, so the driver didn't even know. I wish I could be able to say that, wow, the airport was a breeze and it was so great and so nice, but I'd be lying. My flight got delayed, so I had some time to read, but I was so exhausted already. Although I tried to sleep in the plane, I couldn't because there were so many babies crying and I could hear them through my headphones. But at least I had a window seat, right? It was the weirdest thing though, because when I was flying, I could see the moon through my plane window, and I've flown many times, but I've never seen the moon. So that was a bit interesting. We landed eventually and I collected my suitcases and I carried them down to the car. It was around 2 or 3 a.m. at this point. I can't really remember. I was so exhausted, not just from the traveling, but also from a night of barely any sleep. Due to heavy rainfall, this entire area was flooded, and when we were driving through it, it felt like we were driving through a lake or a pond. There was just so much water. There's a dog at every gas station in Moldova, so I said hello to this little cute one, and then I got some peanuts. It was already around 5 a.m., so the sun started rising, and we saw this cloud shaped like a mouse. The scenery was so beautiful, and it was just all the rolling hills and the crops. I deeply realized how much I missed home. Although leaving school was sad because that meant I was leaving back a place with so many memories and all my friends, being in the car with my parents, I realized that I finally felt the pressure of school that has been building up for more than a decade just evaporate, and I felt so light again. And for that, I'll forever be grateful. Thank you so much for watching and hope to see you soon.